Alright classmates, this is a little report on NBEO 3. Contrary to what I had heard prior to coming to the NBEO, the patients weren't quite as easy as what had been indicated in the past. Just a little heads up. My patient, I tried to invert his eyelids. I realized he pretty much had no eyelashes, and it was a little tough to get those things flipped. Something I had previously not experienced was a soft contact lens that didn't fit the cornea. First one I've ever seen, happened to be on the national boards. The RGP that I put on also got dislocated 3 times, and I had to recenter it 3 times before I was able to get a good fit assessment. So a few things that were a little tricky. I was expecting the patients to be a little more, run-of-the-mill. But overall, I think it was okay. The slit lamp it's super nice, but it's a little awkward. So it definitely takes some time to get used to it. When you get here, it's not like any one that I'd ever seen before. It's even a little different than the Hog Strites that I practiced on. The fundus lenses also were a little bit tricky. Never used either of those lenses before, so they were a little hard to get the images clear at first. The gonio, my patient for gonio, and my patient for station 2 was just hard. Let me just tell you that. Beginning to end, he was tricky, and I had to actually put the gonio lens on 4 times. There was no Celluvisc to use. It was actually, what was that called? Sustained.
It's Theratears
by Sustained Theratears, which was even runnier than Celluvisc, so that was a little tricky. I ended up having to just ram that thing onto the guy's eye. And when I turned it, I could see the conch being twisted underneath it. But I had no choice. It was my fourth attempt, so it was kind of frustrating. The guy just kept blinking really hard, so it was kind of frustrating. And honestly, I've never had a patient blink off the gonio lens before, so I was getting pretty frustrated with this guy. Anyways, aside from station 2, I think it was all pretty smooth. But then station 2 is like the biggest station, so that's a little discouraging. But anyways, I think it turned out okay. Anyway, that's all I got for me. Good luck.
Okay.
All right. So sitting here at the airport in Illinois, thinking about yesterday and thinking about some of the parts of the boards exam that made me, I guess, most stressed out. I was pretty stressed before, just like pretty much everyone else. But right after it started, the stress kind of left a little bit until I got to the station with the contact lenses. And this is why things got a little bit scary. The soft lens as well as the hard lens, both of them fell out multiple times on me. And I put them in correctly and everything, but they came out, and so I had to demonstrate my application skills over and over for both designs. And the other thing that kind of got me was the gonio lens. When I was applying that, the patient was pretty sensitive and blinked it out. I mean, multiple times. I barely got it within my 4 attempts to get on my views, because it was that bad. It was that difficult to hold the gonio lens on. And I wasn't going too light either. I practiced multiple times. But if I had to give any advice, I would say, just make sure you're good and know that you might have to demonstrate your skills over and over in a particular station. Other than that, that was pretty much it. Other stations were pretty good for me. And so, yeah.
The hardest part for me was not looking like an idiot. So basically everything's new. I mean, relatively new. The slit lamp's awesome, but it's just, you're not comfortable with it. So you don't look like you know what you're doing. That's the worst part. You're like clicking things over, like, oh, where's cobalt blue? It's all the way to the left, not all the way to the right. I'm on the green light. I'm like, what do I use the green light for? And, you know. Anyway, so then you just look and sound like an idiot. That's the worst part for me. I didn't have as hard as patience as Aaron and Royce did. Still, it's kind of interesting. Like, the only thing that happened to me on station 2 was the lady sneezed out her gonio lens. She sneezed and she apologized and laughed it up and everything, but it was fine. I got it back in, and she wasn't as hesitant about the contact lenses and everything as Royce and Aaron, so I didn't have that problem. But my deal was just looking like an idiot, because there's all new stuff. Like they said, the gonio lens, you're just using TheraTears, which is like just normal tears. So it just like runs out as soon as you put it in there. It's like, stuff that I haven't used much. And oh yeah, another thing is they don't have a 90. I guess I didn't read that part on the long list of stuff you're supposed to read, but they don't have a 90. They have like some super filled thing, and I guess it's a 78. I don't know what I was using. It's a 78 with a long side. I don't know. I'm not used to the 78. Okay. Alright, so I look like an idiot. So it's hard to get a clear view. Okay, alright. So maybe I failed. Who knows? Anyway, for the most part it's okay. Just know that it's not going to be your best performance. You're going to look like an idiot, and it's possible that you're going to get a horrible patient, and you could fail. So, other than that, it's great.
Alright, so we just thought of one more thing that I wanted to share with you guys about the testing center. Hope it's okay to say it. I think I'm safe telling you, but you think about like any proficiency you've had in the past where the proctor's been in there watching you breathing down your neck, watching you do your procedure on that patient. Pretty much magnify this times like 5. Because I remember being in a room and I remember kind of looking around, during the few minutes I had before, and I counted 3 different camera bubbles on the ceiling. 3! And not only that, but the instruments that I worked with, I think the NBEO had a camera coming off of it so they could see my view. There was a monitor right next to me where somebody's watching exactly what I do. And to top it all off, there's this mirror in the room, and it's not just an ordinary mirror. It's the kind that somebody's sitting behind, like looking, gazing into your room. And yeah, pretty much it's a magnified times 5, like, because all eyes on you. So just remember that, go in, knowing what you're getting yourself into. So you'll be less stressed knowing that.
So a funny story, one thing that happened on my station 2, which was my tricky station for me, they give you a little piece of tape that they put over the name tag on your white coat, and that tape fell off in the middle of that station. I didn't notice it, and I stepped on it. It's kind of like plastic tape. So anyways, from that point till the end, every time I stepped, every time I got up, I heard the tape signal going. So it was I walk over the sink, and then I was about to, finally it got really annoying to me. So I had just washed my hands and put the soft contact lens on, and without thinking, I almost reached down and touched it. So I reached down to my shoe and I almost touched it, but it on the floor, so I thought, oh, I better not touch it. And so I said, oh, I probably shouldn't touch that right now since I just washed my hands. Anyways, it just made me really feel really awkward. I think I looked like a fool in there. But, hey, good.